Bayern, Jeff, only team remaining in Europe who have the chance to win all three. Make your case why they will or why they won't win the treble this season.
I think they look absolutely ominous. They've just got absolutely everything. I mean, we saw at the weekend, they're 3 goals down. OK, no problem, let's get on the big guns. Harry, Michael, do us a favour, just pop out here and sort the game out for us to turn that game around. And that's the 3rd time in the last 4 games they've come back from losing positions. So not only have they got the talent, not only have they got the inventiveness, they've also got the character as well. I can do the bit where I can make a case for them winning the treble. I'm not sure I can do the bit to make a case against them. Obviously, PSG stand in the way, who are an exceptional side. That's the... If they get to the final, Bayern Munich, well, I think the winners will come from that side. That's not being disrespectful to Atletico or Arsenal, but this side of the bracket is just way, way much stronger. Would you agree?
I think a lot of people had that side of the bracket. I had Bayern Munich right from match day 1 in the competition, and I stuck with them. I may have, had we had to do it all over again, change to PSG. I love the way PSG, they're going to be tested, Bayern, in this one, no doubt. If they have a weakness, it's defensively. Right, the speed defensively has been a little bit of a weakness, and I know we'll talk about Manuel Neuer and match leg 1 as opposed to leg 2, but they're balanced. 1 more year under Vincent Kompany. They have an understanding. They have an Olise who's been playing out of his mind. Luis Diaz came in. This is the 2nd time. I'm still amazed by him because everyone says there's an adjustment period when you go to these big clubs, right? He walks into Liverpool and there's no adjustment period. He walks into Bayern Munich and there's no adjustment period, right? He just fits in. You can drop him out of a helicopter and put him anywhere and he can play. That's the type of player he's been. So they have a few more elements, and I think maybe the upset of last year, they've continued to have Harry Kane score goals, Pavlovic in the middle. They're so balanced. Gnabry now, a little bit of a slight injury, so Nico Jackson's been playing a little bit more, but still a player. Alphonso Davies has come back into the mix. Like, it all feels like it's coming together at the right time for Bayern.
And that's what you want, and that's sometimes the part where you really can't control. But speaking of...
Aly, sorry, they've been linked. It's only rumour. They've been linked with Anthony Gordon at Newcastle. If I'm Anthony Gordon, I'm thinking, how do I get in this team? Yeah. Where would I get in? Now, you know, he's a good footballer. Most footballers will back themselves. And if a coach says, I want you, but you'd have to wonder how much game time you're going to get with what they've got.
Yeah. It is hard to find a really... You mentioned defensively some of the weaknesses, but when you look at the remaining 4 teams, it really is Bayern and PSG who look to be 2 of the strongest teams.
Oh, no question. No
Without
question.
a doubt.
They're head and shoulders above the other 2.
Yeah, you don't become Manuel Neuer. Look, every goalkeeper in the world has these moments, right? One of the things we've applauded him for over the years was his ability to play with his feet. For a big guy, he plays as a sweeper keeper. He's been an 11th attacker, if you will. So he makes a mistake in that moment. I still don't think the free kick is a mistake for me. I told you guys that the day after. For me, it's all about the free kick. Excuse me. I actually think that he gets to the ball in a moment that most guys wouldn't even touch the ball, right? Because of his length, right? He's a really big goalkeeper. But he's already forgotten about this. He forgot about this before he took a shower, right? Because he's been through this before. This is what great goalkeepers do, right? You have a bad moment. He's not the only one in the world. We just saw Kinski, right, in Champions League, and all of a sudden you look at him this weekend and you think, oh my gosh, look at the save he makes to keep his club in a relegation battle at a minimum, right? So for me, it's really not an issue.
And it's not arrogance, is it, Tony?
No.
It's actually supreme. It's not even, is it not supreme confidence, but it's knowledge and being level-headed that you can deal with that situation, which only come... At what age did you get to when you were able to deal with the setbacks?
Well, I tell all the time, everyone asks me, and you know, I don't talk about my career at all, but when you ask me about this moment, Romania, World Cup, at home, 1994, I'm 25 years old, playing in my 2nd World Cup, and I make the biggest mistake I can make. And if you ask me against Romania, give up the goal at the near post, if you ask me what my best game ever was in the World Cup, it's that game. Because I bounced back from it in a moment and made a couple of really, really good saves after, and I forgot about it. Because you have to forget about it. I'm telling you, by the time was he mad at himself? Oh, for sure, right? Because you're just a competitor. But he wasn't even out of the shower before he forgot, like, okay, we're moving on to the semifinals now.
And of course, he had so much game left ahead of him, so he had to get the mind back and right, and ultimately
I'd back him
did.
to make more saves either in the semis and possibly the final than mistakes, massively.
Well,
If we showed a highlights reel of his saves, we'd be here all day.
We'll go to leg one. I mean, go to leg one. He keeps his team in it, right? So I mean, that's the life of a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
The life of a striker too. Strikers are the same. You know, they have to have that mentality. You miss one, and you can't have that linger in your mind. Right? You got to forget about it, and you got to move on.
And that experience, particularly in this competition, which Bayern Munich are hoping to win, has served them very well and has served Manuel Neuer very well. And we saw this team last year get eliminated in the quarterfinals against Inter, who went on to lose to PSG in the final. This team has made some key additions since last season. As we know, Vincent Kompany has more experience with this team. Geoff, from year one to year two under Kompany, and with some of the new pieces, looking at Luis Diaz and what he's brought, how Elise has really grown into this team, getting players like Davies back and Jamal Musiala. I mean, just how has Vincent Kompany taken this team to the heights that they're at right now, where we're talking about them as one of the favorites and looking like they have very few flaws?
I think when you list all the components that you did just there, what they've done is they have gelled even more. Although if you look at the new components, like your Elises, your Diaz... No, Elise was there last season, wasn't he?
Elise was there last year. Diaz this year.
Harry Kane is playing even better. The relationship with Kane and Elise, that's like telepathy now as well. So I think it's time that they've spent together, and they are a much smoother machine. Not that they were bad last season. They've just got better and better. They look like they're hitting peak form. They look unstoppable to me. You mentioned the defence and possibly a bit of frailty there because of the mobility. But I think it's a case of when a team is on a roll, you know what your teammate's going to do. You know when somebody's going to make that run. You know when you need to cover him. They can read each other. For me, Ali, they look totally in sync with each other and with their game and with their coach.
We always look at it from a player standpoint. Oh, the players are understanding what Vincent Kompany wants to do. It's year two. I oftentimes look at the other way, right? The reason that happens is because Vincent Kompany now has grown as well. Remember, he was the 5th or 6th, or depending on what reports, maybe the 7th or 8th manager that they even wanted. But now he understands the buttons to push for everybody. Okay, Harry Kane, this is what pushes your buttons every week, right? I got to get you in top form. It doesn't matter who you are. Elise, we say he's turned Elise into the player that he is. Maybe he learned, I just got to give a guy like that a little bit of freedom, a little bit more freedom, maybe than I was giving him in year one. So it's not always just a one-way street, right? It's reciprocal with these guys. And I think he's done a great job. He's still a young manager. He's at a massive club that has, in Europe, as high as an expectation as anybody that we have in all of Europe, right? In Bayern, you're expected to win the league, and you're expected to compete all the time in Champions League. So he's in a really interesting spot in his career, and he's done such a great job early on. Yeah,
and rotating some young guys in as well. I mean, Vincent Kompany stock way up, and if they are able to get the treble this season, I mean, his name is going to be probably linked to even more places looking to pull him away from Bayern Munich. But let's look at PSG on the other side, Tony. We talked a lot about Manuel Neuer with this Bayern Munich team. What have you made of the goalkeeper situation at PSG this season?
Well, I was confused at the beginning of the year. You had Donnarumma, who, if not for me, I still think the one save that changed everything in Champions League was against Arsenal. The one down to his left, I can't remember, was that leg 2, but it was early in that game, right? Would have changed the whole face of that game. And if he doesn't make that save, maybe they're not even a position to be there. So they say, we don't need you anymore. We're going to bring Chevalier in because he's better. He's better with his feet. He does all of the first 2 games were a disaster, right? And then there were question marks. Then Safonov comes in. He gets some opportunities early in the competition, in cup competition, and all of a sudden he starts to shine a little bit. He's been the guy now for a couple months, and he's been really, really good. So they went from Donnarumma, world-class goalkeeper, winning Champions League, to someone who maybe wasn't on their radar to be in this position this year. Comes from Krasnodar, right? I believe that's where he came from, and he's been outstanding so far.
Yeah,
I'm just looking at him, Tony. It's the first time I've seen proper shot. He's not physical, is he? He's not a big guy.
No, he's not. No,
he's slight, isn't he? He's build.
Yeah, no, he's not like a Donnarumma or someone like that. He's not that stature, no.
Well, 21 games 19 goals allowed, a 73% save percentage, 11 clean sheets, and a win percentage of 71%. I mean, are you confident, Tony, just given how he came to be the starting goalkeeper, that he's going to be able to lead PSG to a back-to-back Champions League title? Because as we know, in the fine margins of the game, sometimes it does come down to, you know, who's between the pipes.
With your question, leading PSG to he'll have to be a piece to the puzzle, because I don't know that they're that dependent. But when you're a team maybe that's got the ball all the time, you don't have a lot of action that you're dealing with from a goalkeeper standpoint, maybe you obviously have to come up with big saves at big times. I don't know that he leads this team to it, because I think they're looking at Dembele and Kvaratskhelia and Barcola and all of these great, Vitinho, all these great players. Yeah, so I don't know. I think he's good enough to, if that's kind of where you're getting, I think he's good enough to win a Champions League in the form that he's in right now. But of course, he doesn't have that experience. Do
you think, crucially, for the run-in, for the business end of the season, particularly the Champions League, Luis Enrique has made a decision, you are the number one? Because the goalkeeper, more than any other position, you can't keep flip-flopping.
No.
You've got to have that understanding with your defence, with your attackers as well. Do you think, crucially, there was a point, probably 5, 6 weeks ago, when Luis Enrique went, right, we can't keep doing this. That's it.
Yeah, this is his guy right now, and I'm with you. You can't keep flipping. The last thing you want are two goalkeepers that are half confident. Right. Yeah. I'd rather one guy that's fully. I'm your guy. Okay, I'm your guy. I'm gonna go bust my tail for you every day, right? And I'm gonna go try and do the best job I can. When you got two guys that are half confident, does the manager really believe in me? It's such a tough situation.
Yeah. Well, and to your point with the players in front of him, I mean, the goal scoring has been spread out amongst this PSG team this year. 5 different players on the squad in double-digit goals. So that is where their bread and butter is. But let's do a little game of who has the edge, because Tony gave his picks when the matchups initially came out. So here's another look at who Tony gave the edge to between Bayern Munich and PSG. What say you, Geoff?
Attack, I'm going Bayern. Midfield, I'm going PSG, because any team with Vitinho in it, I have to vote with. Defence, I'm going to go PSG. Manager, I'll go PSG because of Enrique. Bench, I'll go Bayern.
All right, very good. Tone, you still stand by your picks?
Yeah, Geoff just convinced me.
Something tells me that that's not true. Okay, so Bayern Munich has the edge in 3 of those categories over PSG. We'll see if that is how it plays out as the first leg of the Champions League kicks off this week. So much to look forward to in all of these games, including PSG Bayern, which will take place at 3 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. You can watch all the coverage for that one on Paramount Plus and on Big CBS.
Thanks for watching this video from Morning Footy. For all news and insights regarding leagues around the world like EFL, Serie, and all UEFA competitions, both men's and women's, don't forget to sign up for Paramount Plus.